Hello everyone, today I will be presenting my task 1 for the project Skill Shop, which is fully responsive user sign in and sign up page build using HTML, Tailwind, CSS and JavaScript. So this project focuses on the responsive UI design, modern styling using Tailwind CSS, form switching using JavaScript, password visibility toggle functionality. Okay, so let me ask you what a Tailwind CSS is. A Tailwind CSS is a utility-first CSS framework. Instead of giving ready-made components like Bootstrap, Tailwind provides small utility classes such as bgblue600, textwrite, p4 as padding, and rounded LG, rounded large, flex and shadow 2XL. So this means that we can combine these utilities directly inside HTML to build custom design. Okay, so now let me explain what is the difference between Tailwind and Bootstrap CSS. So a Bootstrap is a component based CSS framework, while it has pre-designed buttons, navbars, cards and etc., and which makes this easier for beginners to design. But as a disadvantage, we have less design freedom in Bootstrap CSS. But on the other hand, Tailwind has a utility-first CSS framework, no predefined components, highly customizable, cleaner and more modern UI framework. So in this project, I used Tailwind because it gives full control over design. Okay, now let's move on to the coding part. So inside the index.html file, at the very top of it, I have given the doctype HTML so that it tells the browser that the document is an HTML file document, which says the version of it. And then we have the HTML language, which defines the language of the page. And inside that we have a header, head tag, and using that we have the meta charset UTF-8, which defines the character encoding, and we have the meta name viewport content with device with initial scale 1.0, which is very important for the responsiveness of the page. So that means it ensures the page scales properly on mobile devices. And next I have added the title Skill Shop and also added a link for an icon for the icon of the website, and also have linked the CSS file style.css, and also linked the Tailwind CSS via CDN. And at the very bottom of the page, I have also included my JavaScript file so that the HTML can load before the JavaScript runs. Okay, so now let's move on to the body part of this file. So over here inside the body tag, I have given the class background gradient left to right. So this means that the color transitions from blue to indigo inside min screen. That means a minimum height full screen, which enables the flex box, and item center, justify center means vertically center and horizontally center, and have also given the padding 4. and below that I have added a div including a class width full, max width medium. So below that, inside the div, I have added the auth container div class bg white rounded XL shadow 2XL overflow hidden. So which means I have given a white card giving rounded corners and strong shadow effect, which prevents an overflow, means which prevents the content overflow. And this means that this centers the authentication card in the middle of the center. And inside the div I have also added my header section. Inside that I have given a div including a class bg gradient from left to right, giving the same color transition from blue to indigo, giving the padding from horizontally to vertically 8 and 10, and text center, and also given a text white. I have given h1 heading class text 4XL large heading, font bold, and margin bottom 2, giving the skill shop as the heading. And I have given also a paragraph with a class text blue 100, which says buy and sell skills with confidence. And below that I have added my form container, a div class px8 and py8 padding both vertically and horizontally. And inside the form container I have given the sign in form, div id sign in form class form container active. So inside this sign in form I have given the email input, password input, the remember me checkbox, and the forgot password link, and the submit button as sign in. I have also added her a message. So as you can see, I have given the similar styling for all the inputs given here. Class width full, padding x4, padding y3, both vertically and horizontally, the border gray, and rounded corners within the. Then also have given a focus ring with color blue, giving a transition duration of 200 seconds. Later I will show you how to add this transition for password to show the password text to on it and off it. And below that I have given the remember me checkbox and the forgot password using an anchor tag, and also added the button using a class with full background gradient color from left to right, blue to indigo, text white and font bold, and padding 3, rounded corners hover from, and also given when you click on it, it shows the color hover from blue to 700 to indigo 700. The transition duration as 300 seconds, and also gave the transform hover scale 105 within the margin top 6. Here also I have added a animation using JavaScript. I will show you in the next part. And below that I have included my sign up form. When you click on this, it takes you to the other form. So over here inside a div, I have given the ID sign up form class form container hid, and then given a heading class text 2XL font bold, text gray 800, margin bottom 2, and within that have written the create account, and also given a paragraph saying class text gray 600, margin bottom 6, which says join thousands of skilled sellers and buyers. And below that I have added the form. Inside that a class space y4, which means it adds a vertical space between the child elements within a container. And then I have given the input type hidden, name action, value sign up. Over here in the sign up form I have added the inputs: first name input, last name input, email address input, and password input. And finally I have also added the confirm password input. I have also added the account type selection as skill seller, skill buyer. Then I have also added a checkbox for terms and conditions, and have added a create account button. I have also added a button for sign in, where you can toggle to the before page from clicking this button. And finally I have added the footer copyright 2026 skill shop, all right reserved, privacy policy, and the terms of service using an anchor tag. Okay, so now let's move on to the JavaScript part, so where you can toggle in between the sign up and the sign in form, and you can see the text and the password by using a toggle. So first let's move on to the toggle between sign in and sign up forms. So here inside a function I have given toggle forms, variable sign in form, assigning it to a document dot get element by ID sign in form, and variable sign up form, assigning it to document dot get element by ID sign up form. So here I have given a sign in form class list toggle hidden, and sign in form class list toggle active. So this means that this class list toggle adds or removes the hidden class. So that means when the hidden is applied, the form disappears, and when it is removed, the form appears. So let me show you this. Over here you can see I am in my sign in form. So when you click on the sign up button, you see that it toggles to the sign up form. So if I do that the same in the sign up form to sign in, you can see that it directs to the sign in form, toggling in between them. So now let's move on to the toggle between the password and the text in password inputs. Over here in this function I have given toggle password given the input ID and the button. It means I have given a variable input which is assigned to document dot get element by ID and adding the input ID. So inside a if else statement I have given input dot type that is assigned to password, and the input type text, and the button using an inner HTML, and the emoji that you want to change to make it visible. So and then in a else statement I have given input type password button in a HTML, the icon. So this means that it gets the password field by the ID that I have given and then checks its type, if it's password or and text, and then it changes between the password and the text. That means if a text is written, it changes to closing the eyes, and if it's a password, it opens the eyes. So as you can see in my sign in form, I have, for example, I will write a password 1 2 3 4 5 and then click on this button. You can see it changes so that I can see the password I have written to text. Then when I click on it again, you can see that it changes to the password where you can't see it. It won't be visible. That's how I designed a fully responsive sign in and sign up page using HTML, Tailwind, CSS and JavaScript. So in this project, I learned how powerful Tailwind CSS is for building modern UI designs quickly using utility classes, and how JavaScript can make a static page interactive by toggling forms and handling password visibility. This task really helped me understand responsive design, clean code structure, and how front-end technologies work together in a real-world application. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more web development content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.